keeps us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Here I am. Here we are. There's too much stuff on my desk. Too much stuff on my desk. What? I got this pile of crap that I got to go through. The mail. Here's the registration for my car. Actually, not my car. Shannon Miller's car. Right. What else? You got all this crap. Just outright. So anyway. Welcome Daily Trudge, where you're probably going to see a different cat each time. This is Jack. He's the baby. Year and couple months old, I think, by now. I think we got him. He was still kind of a kitten when he graciously jumped in my wife's car and came home. He's a good cat. Good kitty, huh? Yes. And you're learning. But you're an orange cat, which means you're dumb as a rock. Oh, no, another cat. All right, dude. So I've been working on resources, right? And it's just it's tough because I got to sort through the bullshit, and it triggers me a little bit, right? But we got to be responsible for our own triggers, and there's a shift, and it's coming. It's already coming. There's clear abuse. Oh, don't you put your ears back, boy. You can't put your ears back and purr, dude. All right. Leisure says, I'm the master rambler. Master. Metallica. Hi, Heather. Good to see you, Michelle. Heather says, always up for a ramble as I sort through stuff. I'm just trying to look for the right way to do all these things. And I will do whatever I can to remove any blockades to recovery. It's part of what I do. And who puts up most of the red tape? Well, it'll be the government. Government's the one that puts up most of the red tape. I mean, they'll put out resources, and what we get is this many people died this year from it. That's not a resource. That is information. That is education. The fact that recovery service. I mean, if there's one group of people that need to be held accountable for all their actions, it is alcoholics. And when they're not, then what happens is they literally think they're doing the next right thing, even while committing Medicaid fraud, even while body brokering, even while blowing HIPAA. Yeah. Even while doing all that, they don't care. There's a lot of us and that's kind of it, my brother Leisure. The government sees profit. Okay. And many, I know Many people may not like Trump, but he's getting it done. I see the value in what he's doing. I am not upset that he took all the recovery money. I thought it was a great idea. Because when alcoholics don't find God, with their newfangled invention of the wheel, I tell you what they go after: money. Because they think that money provides status and they want to be somebody in this world. See, they don't want to be a worker among workers. Humility is not something that they do, right? I'll give you an example. I'm going over the COPA stuff and some of their training. And there's a training being done by someone. It's called ethics. Ethics. And it is being trained. And the trainer committed Medicaid fraud. Are you okay with that? Would you get trained on ethics by a person who has none? Who has none? The right to act and think and do as we will, all by ourselves. Oh, I will make this decision. I will. Right? Now, this is not a political talk. I don't get into politics. I can tell you now, if I posted half the stuff I wanted to post, most of you probably wouldn't listen to me anymore because you might get mad because I have a much different political view. I really do. Probably not the same. I want what's right. I give fuck less about politics. I want what's right. I'm taking my meds. I hope you don't mind. I hope that doesn't trigger anybody. They are all non-narcotic. These are my my heart meds, my blood pressure meds. All right. Bring down my blood pressure. Thin my blood a little bit. I get cold a lot easier now. I used to be one of those guys where I wore shorts. Didn't matter what time of the year it was. I was that guy. Now it could be the middle of summer and I got to put a hoodie on. Thankfully, I grew up in Utah and Colorado, and I know how to dress by layers. There are many layers to Dion and his shirts. All right. Now, I used to get really, really angry when I would see that these people were making progress and things like that. And I would hope that people would have changed. But when the government actually goes out of the way to endorse people that are breaking the law because they decided not to take a little bit of extra time and figure out who this person was first, they just wanted to get it done. See, it just seems like recovery anymore is we throw it against the wall and hope that it fucking works. That's what recovery seems like anymore. Right? Recovery is two things at all time: free and simple. Right? Leisure says no one listens because I say what they think and are too afraid to say it. Well, yep. It's hard to, I get a lot of pushback with what I do. People are like, well, prove it. I'm like, what do I need to prove? You already got caught. I don't need to prove anything. One guy, I literally put on there, dude, you're a known body broker. Stay away from the. And they wrote back, he's like, do you have any proof of that? That in and of itself shows your guilt, dumbass. Claire says they make enough money off of the active alcoholic. Yeah. All right. You have Medicaid, so you call the treatment center and they're like, yeah, we'll have a bed for you in 2 weeks. You show up and they deny you. They deny you because you're not drunk. This is one I've been bringing up. And I think there should be a law that says if you are a treatment center, you cannot have a detox center. That'll even it up pretty damn fast. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they do it. Because the money that they make for crisis services in those 3 days is more than the treatment that they make for the 28 days. And if you don't go through their detox, then they are not profitable off of you. Yes, the human being. And I ask often, what is the price of a human life today? Because apparently, according to recovery services, it's about $5,000. It's not right. It's not right. You know, I'm going through these resources, and the problem is there's not many people out there doing it the right way. There are, but I'm having to go through all these different things and jump through these hoops. I'm getting pretty good at it. You know, Leisure sent me this one earlier. They're called the Calvary Church, right? And what they're doing is called New Life Recovery Step Meetings. Let's go back to their thing. Where is it here? And what it is, it's just it's called 12 Step with a Twist meetings. And I called them, and I'm like, what's the twist? In fact, that's probably them, 696. Let me get this, and I may have to go. I might have to go, and I apologize. Hello? Hello? And they hung up. I hate it when people call me and hang up. Now watch, I'm going to call them back. It's going to be, this number does not exist. They've done that twice. It's for new teeth. Mother juckers. I'm kind of waiting on a phone call with him, but I'd like to know what that twist is. So I called him and I asked, I left him a message. Now what it may be is just they're just saying that so it sets them apart. But I looked into this a little bit more, and this is what I like. Okay, so they have a name, and they have residential treatment programs for men and women, free, no insurance needed. Now that I can hop on. That I agree with. What did I just say? It's free and simple, right? Right, and they're evening the playing field. My question is, where are they making their money? But it's a ministry. This is what I would call friends of AA, right? And even though they put that twist on it, I'd really like to know what it is. The twist is probably this, that they're Christian based. Nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that. No, I don't think so. I've got other places that are non-Christian based for sober living and treatment, but maybe somebody does want. Why can't it be free? But I will ask them, how are you making it free? Because these are things that maybe the people running the residence are just volunteers. Could be, who knows? But absolutely it could be free. I do things free all the time. But is it actually, right? But that's where we have to ask hard questions. We got to ask hard questions. What they're trying to do is get people to attend their church. That's what they're trying to get to. That would be the quote unquote catch. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Depending on how they're doing it. Right. Right. Real Church in Greeley, Christian base, Al-Anon for every step. They have a Bible verse. Okay. They're allowed to do that. Each group is autonomous. They use 12 steps to entice because using the term AA scares people. It scared me. Yeah. I think 12 steps in AA are kind of synonymous to a lot of people, though. They're kind of synonymous. So, right. There's different needs for different people, so it kind of varies. And what I usually try and look for is what's their intent? What's the intention here? Why do you continue, why are you doing it? What's the motivation here? There's a lot of play. I mean, AA was based off a group called the Oxford Group, and they're Christian based. They're still around. They've been around longer than AA. And but it's just tough. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things going on. At least the whining has settled down a little bit. Or at least I'm not seeing it. I don't know if it's that, but from what I've seen, the dust is settling, and now we're going to see where things land. But at the beginning of this year, I said this was the year of change. That shit was going to hit the fan this year. That things are going to be discovered. The truth is going to come out this year, and it's coming out, and it's coming out quickly. And the people that are yelling and screaming and whining and complaining are the ones doing it. And I'm going to tell you, they will do anything at this point to get your money. Saw a post last week from one of the abusers, and they were wallowing in the fact that somebody had died and left behind a couple of children. They were looking for attention. They were seeking pity. They did not know this person. They just heard about it. They didn't know them. And I guarantee the next thing they will do is ask for money based on that pity. And people will give it to them because they want to continue staying in the popular realm. Well, when that ends, I'm going to tell you something. Hundreds and hundreds of alcoholics will not only drink, but they're going to die. See, when people get into the program, they're looking for direction. And it is so easy to manipulate the gift of desperation. It's easy to do, especially when somebody is and of themselves a manipulator. See, to them, their life seems the only normal one. It is about them and them only. If you do something nice for somebody and then you put it on Facebook, you have no fucking humility. None. I help people all the time. So what? I would, if I did that way, I'd be helping somebody put it online. Helping somebody put it online. Now, I like to be proactive. So even in this situation, there are good things that we can look at right now, because Colorado is in what I would call the perfect storm. Number one, we're dead last in recovery services and mental health, especially for our children. And that should disturb you in and of itself. Dead last. Even California's kicking our ass. Oregon, Florida, Texas. Yes. We are the hub of so many things. It doesn't surprise me. Look at that big bust they just did down Colorado Springs. That's only one of many. There was guns and drugs, prostitution. There was body brokering. There was a lot of things going on down there. Several illegals running it. You think that shit ain't happening in Colorado? No. See, our state bird is the ostrich. You get it? You get it? Colorado state bird is the ostrich. I'm making a joke. Because we like to bury our head in the sand when things go rough. Oh, not us. We are the denial state. We deny the fact that so beyond that, there is no money at the state level. It was overspent last year. I tried to warn them. They did not want to listen because they were counting on the federal money, which Trump took. And now they're in a position where they're either going to have to shut down and go get regular jobs. Ain't going to happen. These people are not going to take directions from other people. No, they think they're the alpha omega, man. They do. They do. All right. It's narcissism. They're not narcissists, but it's narcissistic traits. That's for sure. Because we alcoholics are what? We're selfish. We're selfish. Extremely selfish. Right? And that selfishness does not go away. What we need to do is put our selfishness in the right place, helping other people, meeting them where they're at. Okay? There's a lot of people in this state that do not like me and do not like what I do, but there is nothing that they can do about it because I stick to the facts. I stick to the facts. Just now I was writing COPA. And they have a great set. I want to use COPA standards for the new peer support. That means about 2 years of sobriety, at least 2 years of sobriety, and 500 hours of education. Not 60 hours that you can get done in a week, but 500. Now we're getting there. Okay. But they're tied to other people that have committed. It's the same place where that person, I'm doing an ethics training, but I committed Medicaid fraud. Now, do I believe people can change? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Well, maybe they changed. This was 2 years ago, and no, they haven't changed. Sometimes all right. So Clara says, in our cups, we are truly unlovely creatures, or when we don't get our cups. But in this case, Clara is not wrong. They are in their cups. It's just not the alcohol cup. It's the money cup. Yep. See, these people kind of had hard lives. One of these people kind of grew up in the system. They were adopted and things like that. I understand that. I get it. See, they went without. People that grow up in the system do things like hoard. They always have a lot of food in the fridge because they're afraid that they won't be able to go without. They tend to steal. They end up being kleptomaniacs, which means you steal a lot. Is that kleptomania? Yes, it is. Okay. And you can't help it. It's just you think you need it and you're not going to be able to get it. It's a fear-driven. So now what we have is fear-driven recovery doubled with what I would call toxic positivity. Oh, you just got to be positive. Head in the sand. Head in the sand. Shell says, yes, the truth is coming out. It is. I wish I could shout it louder into more people. I really do. But God doesn't seem to be leading me that way. He's putting people in my life that I need to utilize. Leisure says sometimes our selfishness can blow up out of nowhere. Yeah, it can. He says it's always there doing push-ups. And the wrong selfishness that we're talking about, right? And this always leads back to what I think, but they don't go to God at any given point. There's a way out. They're calling it evidence-based treatment. And they're like, oh yeah, it is a scientific way. But we use evidence-based treatment also. This is showing you the truth of what you're doing. The fourth step is evidence-based treatment. There's nothing scientific about it. Maybe there is. I don't know. But I believe that science and religion can get along. They can go hand in hand. Absolutely, they can. It just depends on you and how open-minded you want to be. And right. So, yeah, it can be tough to. It can be tough because when you're telling the truth to people that don't want to hear it. See, a lot of people don't want to hear it, and here's why. Because they think that they found their place. Right? Like the first time I drank, like you'll remember that time when it really, really worked for you in the beginning. Do you think anybody was going to change your fucking mind? No. No. Nobody was going to change your mind. And in this case, because we are a lonely people, and suddenly you are part of the popular crowd, even though you never were, even though it feels fake because you've never been in that position before, so you don't know what's going to happen. You think it's the truth because that has been what is presented to you. And there's a lot of two-step. Most recovery coaches are two-steppers. They work 1 and 12. I'd been working with this recovery coach, even got him to do a couple of meetings at detox, things like that. And I'm like, why don't you come on and tell your story? I don't really have a story. I didn't really use anything. I'm like, why in the fuck are you doing this? When somebody doesn't have what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now, I ponder it. No, AA is not the only way, but there's 4 or 5 ways out there, man. You did none of them? What I would call, that's not even recovery, man. It's not even recovery. Right? So, but I kind of wanted to come on here and talk about that so that I don't start to get angry about it again. Because it's not a place that I need to go with it. Anger's not going to solve any of it. Right? Because when I was doing this in the beginning, it was personal. I wanted revenge. I tell you now, I did. I wanted a month ago. Remember, my friend died, and I didn't want revenge. I wanted vengeance. And there's a little part of me that still does. That's the dangerous part of Dion, and I pull it back. I pull it back. I have to. I know exactly how dangerous I am. And when I have that, I pull it back. That's called love. Yeah. Now, where before, I wanted him in jail. I wanted to help with the consequences. I wanted to do this. No, now I just tell the truth. Whatever consequences lie out there is not my job. It's not my job to do that part. Right? I'm not the judge, jury, and executioner of anyone. Not only that, but a jury takes more than one person or be a juror. A jury in and of itself implicates several people. And I'm happy to be living in a split level head, so. And it's tough to work through this stuff, man. It is. But I'm going to keep plugging forward. I've got a great list going. Here, I'll show off my list here and then we'll wrap up. And this will give you an idea. Where is it? It's called the Grassroots. No, it's not. It's the Trudging Together. Resources for alcoholism. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Trudging together a resource list. All right. So we're going to share this real quick. Must be that. Okay. All right. So as you can see, it's just gotten started. These are the people that I know and trust so far. If you use one of these resources, we ask that you mention you found them through Trudging Together. This helps us bring on more great resources and lets them know that this list works all the way well. Good friend of mine works over there. They provide peer support services. They're Medicaid. They're COPA certified. Mile High Recovery, run by Bryce Hancock. Really cool dude. He's a cool dude. These people, again, I know that they help. Now, they don't take Medicaid. That's the one thing I don't. And they have treatment, IOP, peer services, and sober living. Overcomers Counseling is a great place for mental health. I've utilized this resource myself. They do take Medicaid. The AA hotline, which probably should be at the top, right? Oxford Houses, great place. They do, and they take Medicaid. Oxford Houses takes Medicaid. We got another one here, East Metro Detox. That's who I'm going to be working with. Notice I put call first, all right? Denver Cares. Again, another good detox where I know that the people that work there are going to help people out. Community Outreach Center. This is a group, or they have like 8, 9 places. And that's where we're going to be doing or 8, 9 locations. And that's where we're going to be doing the AA meetings. Now I'm going to tell you something. Community outreach was on the top of at the one point was on the top of my list to put out of business. Community Outreach Center, the old owner is the person that intentionally shut down Arapahoe House. Yes. But here, people change. Companies can change. And they did. They got rid of those people. Okay. And now I'm on, we can bend a little bit here, right? They have mental health, crisis therapy, peer support. They do a lot of things. The next 3 are women's sober livings. I have not found any men ones that I want to work with yet. Right. So those are those ones, and I'll follow up. So that gives you an idea of what, Bryce is pretty cool, huh, Leisure? He used to do podcasting and shit. Now he's kind of traveling. He did his part, man. He did his part. Now he's kind of enjoying life. That's the way I see it. But that gives you an idea. Now, every single one of those resources is vetted. How are they vetted? Either I know the people, I have worked with them, I've seen them work, I've been a part of what they've done, or I was a consumer myself. Overcomers Counseling, I've been going to them for years. Okay. I've sent at least 30 people there. All right. Not one has come back and said that resource sucked. Now, if it goes great, I'm not going to hear from you. If it isn't going to go so great, I'm going to hear from you. Yeah. Right. So when I put together these resources, it'll become a community. And that way, when somebody is at East Metro Detox and working with a caseworker or whatever, even though that person's not a recovered alcoholic, they can go to bed at night knowing that the resource that they sent them to, that client is safe and getting the help that they need. That is my goal, to make people at Detox feel better about their job. That's what I want to do. And some people don't like it, but they don't understand it yet, right? They don't understand it. Now, the thing is if we build a success rate through the detox, that brings in more money, and therefore they're going to need to open a treatment center. And then the people working at detox who are not recovered alcoholics with COPA, in other words, non-alcoholics with bachelor's degrees, can go to work at the treatment centers where they belong. They will be much more successful there. not just for them, but for the client. And I know all this, but it's not easy to set up when I got all these naive people running around thinking I'm doing it. Well, you're just bashing on these people. Yeah, I'm bashing on them, and you should probably listen. Yeah, how many times I've heard this year, Dion, you were right? I've heard it a lot. Yes, I know I was right. You don't need to let me know. I know. I'm just glad you discovered it. Now let's get to work. Right? And it makes it even harder that AA has no say on outside issues. So bringing AA into this it's tough. But AA has those rules, and I believe in them. I believe in them. So that's why I joined some groups so I could learn more to make sure I'm doing it the right way. Because I go to bed every night satisfied of the fact that whoever I helped went to the right place. And there is a process in that. And people are wanting to know more of it. On Thursday, I'll talk about this, and then I'm gonna wrap up because I got therapy in 8 minutes. And then I gotta run down and meet Amber, and then I gotta get back and talk to Marcia, and then I have to get the 5:30 meeting going. So but I don't remember what I was. Oh, we're meeting on Thursday, and we're trying to figure out what Dion's going to do. I'm not sure. I told them they need to start paying me. Somebody needs to start paying me for this stuff, because what I'm talking about now is not AA work. Okay. Now, what I can do, since I'm part of the thing for the professionals, is I'll be able to set it up so that people from AA can come and talk, and employees from Aurora Mental Health can go to it and find out what AA is about. But I cannot do it. I can't be the one to do it, especially if I'm hired at Aurora Mental Health. I can set it up, but I cannot set it up as an AA member. I must approach other AA members and say, hey, would you be willing to do this? Yes, we would. Great. I will make sure you have everything you need. That would be my job, because there's money involved. See, and those are the things that I know where there's a difference. You know, somebody earlier said, and see, these are the weird questions I get. I'm not going to say who or anything, but these are and I love answering these hard questions. So my friend wrote me, and they said, so someone I used to know has gone missing. Their family is doing everything they can to find her. I posted on the Facebook, and she attends the 10 p.m. meeting at York Street. And some people agreed that I was breaking anonymity. I disagree. We want to find her, and it does not disturb the traditions. Do you think it does? My comment is already helping the search. Somebody's missing and you're worried about fucking traditions? And not my friend. I said, at this point, she is a missing person, not an AA member. That is people who want to argue. Fuck them. Fuck them. If you were kidnapped, would you be okay if somebody broke your anonymity so you were found? I'm pretty sure you'd be okay with that. Fuck. All right. All right. Thanks for letting me ramble. I will see several of you soon. We got the 5 o'clock meeting again today. I don't have the words, man. Those meetings are going so good. You know, when I leave those meetings, I felt like I used to when I went to meetings before. I felt completed. You could just feel it. And I love it. And it isn't because of me. It takes a group of people to do that. So good job, grassroots. I'm impressed. If you want to see a kick-ass group conscious, come to our group conscious, man. Man, nobody argues. We debate, but we do not argue. It's beautiful. All right. Thank you all for being here. I have 4 minutes to therapy. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And have a good fucking day. It's not a daily trudge, really, so I don't really have to do the tag. I'm not putting it anywhere else.